You get a charging station, you get a charging station, you get a charging station, and you get a charging station. Let's start the countdown. Welcome to the Investor Place Launchpad, where we look at trending investment ideas and try to take them to the moon. I'm Head of Mission Control Aaron Davis, and with the passage of Biden's $1 trillion infrastructure bill, it has led to some immediate gains in the market around EVs and EV technologies. Before we dive in, we'd love to continue to grow our channel here at Investor Place, so feel free to hit that like and subscribe button and smash that notification bell to stay up to date with us here at the Launchpad. With all of that out of the way, let's launch into the world of EV technologies and see where it might take us. With the House passing President Joe Biden's $1 trillion infrastructure bill, the legislation is now one critical step closer to becoming law. As a result, a multitude of EV and EV-related stocks are surging thanks to a portion of the bill being allocated specifically for EV charging stations. The bill sets aside a $7.5 billion to build a network of 500,000 EV charging stations across the U.S. With $7.5 billion earmarked for an EV charging network, investors are seemingly putting faith into ChargePoint, which has been a great news for shareholders, as before yesterday's spike, CHPT stock traditionally performed rather poorly, failing to meet its $50 high in the past year. While this is substantially less than Biden's initial ask of $15 billion, in part towards his pledge to get half of all vehicles on the road to be electric by 2030, the investment is significant towards the development of a true EV infrastructure, one the EV industry analysts say is sorely needed. As a result, ChargePoint ticker symbol CHPT saw a 13% jump over $28 a share. Other EV charging companies that saw a bump include EVgo, which was up 14%, Volta jumping 8%, and Blink Charging jumping 8.8%. Founded in 2007, ChargePoint is one of the biggest manufacturers of electrical vehicle charging stations in the world. ChargePoint operated a global network of more than 100,000 EV charging stations spanning 14 countries. The combined infrastructure bill, Biden's EV goals, and the cultural traction of EVs seems to poise ChargePoint's gains as ones that will stick, as developments politically will continue to benefit the company. ChargePoint wasn't the only stock to see a Monday morning spike, as the infrastructure passage also saw investors flock once again towards Lucid Motors. With the promise of more charging stations across the US, it seems investors acknowledge that consumers may be more aligned to make their next vehicle purchase an electric one. With a 2.9% jump in pre-market tradings on Monday, the stock was up 316.3% since the start of the year. As Lucid continues to gain traction in both the market and EV space, the company also opened its doors to its 11th retail studio space in Washington, D.C. This studio joins the expansion of the company's presence in the East Coast, along with New York and Florida. These studios offer a unique experience, giving customers the full Lucid aesthetic and brand, allowing them to come face-to-face with the company's new Lucid Air. With goals to expand these studios across the country, it's clear that Lucid is a true competitor in the EV game. Finally, an EV company that will likely benefit from the infrastructure bill once it goes public is Rivian Automotive. The company, now backed by Amazon, is set to go public later this week, aiming for a valuation of as much as $65 billion in its initial public offering, expecting to sell 135 million shares at around $72 to $74 a share. The company has been investing heavily in production, specifically with regards to its upscale, all-electric R1T pickup truck that launched this past September, which has been beating out Tesla, GM, and Ford with approximately 55,400 R1T and R1S in pre-orders as of October 31st. While both GM and Ford are looking to be healthy competitors, similarly gearing up production on their respective fleets of EV vans and trucks, Rivian has at least one leg up with Amazon's order of 100,000 of Rivian's EV delivery vans, an effort to reduce the company's carbon footprint. The infrastructure bill has certainly paved way for the next generation of EVs, with the promise of a true network of charging stations that will alleviate charge anxiety that has traditionally given consumers pause when purchasing an EV. But what do you think? Is a $7.5 billion enough for this network of charging stations? Will your next car be electric? And if so, what brand will be your go-to? We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments section below. Well, that's all we have from the Launchpad this week. If you'd like more insights like this, head on over to investorplace.com, where we release articles daily. And as always, check back with us here at the Launchpad each week, as we will continue to look for trends like EVs. And as always, try to shoot for the moon.